This upcoming Browns season is really just going to be weird because of the Deshaun Watson situation. But at the same time, because is this like a gap year or is this an all-in year? I have no idea. Let's talk about it. I want to hear your thoughts down below. Like and subscribe. So guys, I'm here today talking about the Cleveland Browns. And as you guys know, Deshaun Watson, he's going to miss about the first 12 weeks of the season. And his first game back is against the Texans. Now, this is a team that they have talent on there. Right now, you know, Jakeem Grant, Dawson Deaton, Nick Harris, Elijah Kansa, and Stephen Weatherly are all on IR, as well as Isaiah Weston. But besides that, they brought back Clowney. They have Garrett on the D-line. And that D-line as a whole looks good, okay? You know, they have Chase Winovich and Curtis Weaver, Tommy, I'm going to butcher this name, Togaya. And like that whole D-line and even the rookies that they brought in, you know, Jordan Elliott, Glenn Logan, they have Taven Bryan, Jordan Elliott. Okay, that whole line right there with Clowney and Garrett on the edges. And then on defense, Jeremiah, Jacob Phillips, Anthony Walker, okay, Dakota Allen, Tony Fields, Willie Harvey. Like that whole line is just like with the line and the linebacking corps. I really like this defense. Like I think this defense underrated. Okay, and then you go to the DBs, Denzel Ward and Greg Newsom II, Greedy Williams, Grant Delpit, Martin Emerson, AJ Green, Ronnie Harrison, Lavert Hill, John Johnson, and Richard LeCount. So like that whole defense, in my opinion, is the most underrated part of this whole Browns team. But let's talk about it. Shout out Adam Rank for some of this information. Myles Garrett, you know, is the, you know, MVP of the defense. But look, Kevin Stefanski is a guy that the fact that they were able to, they finished with just 8 wins, but they were able to do that with all the injuries and drama surrounding, you know, Odell Beckham, Baker Mayfield, Kareem Hunt, Jarvis Landry, all that. Like Kevin Stefanski is still a guy that I think is a good head coach, but the whole thing comes down to obviously Deshaun Watson. They paid him 5 years, fully guaranteed, $230 million, shipped out multiple picks, and you know he's suspended 11 games. And this is a guy that looked terrible in preseason, but he hasn't played in a few years. But last time he played, he led the NFL with 4,823 yards, and Watson became the first guy to be a quarterback in the NFL history to record a passing rating above 110 on a losing team. And for sure, Myles Garrett, I think this could be the year where he really surmounts himself as the best defense player, arguably, in the league, not named Aaron Donald. And Myles Garrett set the single-season Browns record with 16 sacks. With just 4 more sacks, he'll pass Clay Matthews as the all-time franchise leader in sacks categories. And that's Clay Matthews' father. Amari Cooper is another guy. You got to understand, Amari Cooper, he's had 1,000 yards in 5 of the 7 seasons of his career, and he's one of 7 players in NFL history to have 7,000 yards and 40 or more touchdowns through his age 27 season. And then David Njoku, this guy led the Browns in receiving touchdowns. He's only had 4, but that was sad enough to lead the team. But still, 13.2 yards per reception. Okay, 4th amongst all tight ends with at least 10 catches. The Browns are betting on, you know, him being good. They gave him a big old deal, whose average he got a 4-year, $56.75 million deal after only averaging 351 receiving yards throughout his career. Now, look, he could be a guy who could really break out. They need to open up week 1. We're assuming Jacoby Brissett's the starting quarterback unless they signed Jimmy Garoppolo, as he's really the only quarterback you can trade for as of right now that they would care for. But I'm going into this season thinking Jacoby Brissett because Jacoby Brissett has a similar skill set as Deshaun Watson, which I just think he would be easier to, and he's been there the whole time. It's just easier when you take out Jacoby Brissett to put in a new guy to, you know, as in Deshaun Watson. It'll be a more seamless transition than if you in week 12 if Garoppolo started the first 11. You know what I'm saying? Because then you might want to ride out the whole season because everyone has galvanized around Garoppolo. I feel like Brissett, he knows his role and it'll just work out a lot better. But So yeah, they'll have to beat the Panthers. I think their first real game, because like the first 4 games are Panthers, Jets, Steelers, Falcons. I think the only 2 games that would really give them problems are the Steelers and Falcons, probably, because I think the Falcons are a little bit better than people think, but the Steelers are their main toughest game right there. But all 4 of those should be all 4 winnable games for the Browns. Week 5, okay, then following that they have the Patriots, Ravens, and Bengals from week 5 to week 8, heading into their bye in week 9. I personally believe that in week 5, when they play the Chargers, they need, in that 4-game home stretch, they need to go 2-2, or not home stretch, but 4-game stretch. They need to go 2-2. I think that they can beat the Chargers and the Patriots, and if they just lose to the Ravens, and well, you rather them beat, either the Ravens or the Bengals and beat either have one win in. Obviously, they would want their 2 wins against the Ravens and Bengals, and then their 2 losses against Chargers and Patriots. But you get what I'm saying, because then they'll be in the division, but they're all conference games. So I feel like in that week 5 to 8 range, they're going to go 2-2. But then week 18, it's the Steelers, so that could be a big game. But look, this is, like I said, one of the best defenses. Denzel Ward is one of 4 players with at least 10 interceptions and 50-plus passes defended since 2018, joined J.C. Jackson, Xavier Howard, and James Bradbury. Ward was 4th in the NFL with an 89.3 coverage grade from Pro Football Focus since 2018. They kept Davion Clowney on a 1-year, $11 million deal. Jeremiah, I'm going to say his name wrong, but Owusu Koromo, I always just call him Jeremiah. And then Greg Newsom, 2nd. Like I said, they had the 5th total defense last year. This is about to be the first time they could post a pair of consecutive top 5 finishes since the 1970 merger. It all comes down on offense, is all that old line holding up, Like, this is a line that Joel Bettino and Wyatt Teller had 2 of the 3 highest grades from Pro Football Focus, again, amongst guards since 2020. They're solid. The biggest questions might be whether Nick Harris is ready to replace recently released, veteran this past offseason, J.C. Tretter as starter. And look, I think this could be a good guy, and I think Jack Conkel's back, but this offensive line, Jack Conkel, Mike Dunn, Joel, Drew Forbes, Jalte, Blake Hannis, Chris Hubbard, James Hudson, David Moore, Ben Petrula, I think, Ethan Pochech, Alex Taylor, Wyatt Teller, Jarek Wills, who's a first-round pick, Alabama. I think this offensive line will rebound. And right now, for me, I think what you need to understand is Nick Chubb was second to only Jonathan Taylor, and he was also second in yards after contact with 967. I don't know why I keep rounding this down according to Pro Football Focus. 5.3 yards per carry on 908 career carries. That's first amongst all backs in NFL history that average more than 5 yards per carry. That's ridiculous. Kareem Hunt looks like he's going to be good. This is a team that's Super Bowl bust, to be honest. The Super Bowl has to be the ultimate goal, especially, if this team can be like 9-2 or like 8-4 when Watson comes back, it's going to be good, because that, Myles Garrett, Nick Chubb, Denzel Ward, Amari Cooper, Joel Bettino, and Wyatt Teller are all under contract till 2024. Got 2 more years to run this back. Let me hear your thoughts down below, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy. Hit the like button down below. Subscribe, do all that good jazz. Hope you guys have a good one.